Day number 2 here at the National Santa Maria Raceway. And on the pole for this sport mod, heat race number 1, it'll be the number 04 of Austin Manzella to his outside. That is Austin Fry in the number 5A. The 68 J Machine, that's Billy the Kid Simpkins. Garrett Jernigan starts outside row 2 in the number 4. 3AC Levi Kiefer. Brian Holder starts on his outside in the number 09. And rounding out the field, the number 51. That is Parker Macianti. Now that's an Italian last name if I've heard one. I had to triple check that one. We go yellow. So something was not right on that start. Maybe because I was trying to get Parker's last name and they wanted to wait on me to triple check it. So I would say out of the 6 cars, out of the 6 of this 7-car heat race, 6 of these cars, and they're all the top 6 at the moment, are all regulars. They all regularly race at the Bakersfield Speedway, which Jeffrey and I from Low Budget TV travel to quite often throughout the season. So these sport mods coming from all over this weekend, but a lot of them coming from Bakersfield, which is about an hour and so away. You travel through the hills and then north on the 99, so it's a bit of a trek, but not for these race car drivers, that's for sure. They come out here regularly at Santa Maria, more so to beat the heat. We go green. Heat race number 1 for the sport mod. Manzella out to an early lead. Fry in the 2nd spot. Battle for 3rd is a big one. Simpkins gonna slip back 3 wide back here. And Jernigan's going to spin it out. Parker's going to avoid. So Maciani's going to come to a stop. No yellow. As Fry is making a challenge now for the lead. He's going to maybe make some slight contact with the 04 of Manzella. So the 4 cars on the screen are the 4 going into the feature, but you wouldn't know it at the moment. Looks like the transfer spots for the lead. So as they run, it'll be Macianti and Jernigan going to the B main event, all others. As well as Kiefer, I should apologize. Kiefer's back here in the back. He's actually losing time to Holder. But the battle for the 2nd spot is one to watch right now. Fry on the outside. Lost a spot to Simpkins, who's pulling double duty this week. And you saw Holder throw it hard into the corner. That will actually make him lose some time and allow for Kiefer to close into the 09. So we could be seeing a transfer spot battle here in maybe a lap or so. Lap 5 of 8, 3 to go. Battle up here for the lead. Simpkins makes it easy out of turn number 2 and up into the lead. Manzella seemed to be a little bit surprised. And now Manzella's going to cut off, not use a blinker on Fry's number 5A, but Simpkins going to lose control. That'll stop Manzella and Simpkins out of power down low. So not sure if the car just stalled in the corner. No yellow, now we have a caution. So that was a change, a big change of events. It looks like Simpkins, something happened, maybe lost power. The rear wheels just quit moving, or he got sideways and something was wrong. So as the caution comes out, your drivers in the feature at the moment are going to be Fry, Holder, Simpkins possibly, and Levi Kiefer. Manzella's going to slip back to 6th. I think he's got a fast enough car to maybe go back into the feature, but he's got to get by 2 drivers to do so. No major damage, it seems, on any of the vehicles. I mean, they all keep going cosmetic mostly. Yeah, Simpkin's going to pull it in. Not sure if he's getting a radio communication from the official saying, nope, nope, you helped cause that caution. See the cosmetic damage on the left rear quarter panel. So Simpkins pulling double duty this weekend. More so tonight. Be racing in the number 68S Pro Stock. So not too sure what, I mean, it could be also a one and done rule, meaning that he created the caution and he is parked. But we get ready to go back to green. 2 laps remaining on this restart. Heat race number 1 for the Sport Mods. Our opening race for day number 2 here at the Nationals. So if you're just tuning in now on live Race Feed X, guess what? You've only missed 6 laps of total racing. Shame on you for being late. White flag for Fry. Holder in the second spot, third, Kiefer, fourth, Jernigan. No pressure for Jernigan. Fry's going to bring this one home. Checkered flag out of turn number 4 for the 5A of Austin Fry. Second spot, the 09 of Holder, third, Kiefer, and fourth is the 4 car of Garrett Jernigan. Those 4 are going to go into the feature here for this one, and it'll be Manzella, Macianti, and the 68 of Simpkins. All going to have to do battle in that B main event. Heat race number 2 for the Sport Mods. It'll be Lee Jensen in the 20S machine. Next to his teammate, the 22C, Michael Johnson. We go green. Top 4 transfer. You just saw Nation go from the B main to the feature in one corner. And who's going to get it at the stripe? It'll be Dragon Slayer, Lee Jensen. It's also going to be pulling double duty. Racing, trouble in the corner, turns number 1 and 2. Aaron Farrell in the 1ST machine, or first, as the caution comes out. Goes around, as well as the 27 machine, who is an extremely late comer. I do not have his name on my sheet. And the reason why I say it's an extreme late comer is because my sheet was just completed 5 minutes before we got to heat racing action. So something tells me that that's going to be the number 27M of Michael Black, being this car's history and its driver. I'm going to say that Michael Black spun it out over in the corner, caused a bit of a stack up. Also in this field, the number 55 Mighty Matt Lewis, the number 43J machine. That is driver Al Johnson. Matt Lewis coming into the pit area. And I mentioned Jason Nation, who started behind. I believe he started 6th and worked his way up to 3rd out of turn number 2. So it's going to be a restart lap number 1. And here's where the fun is. So in the driver's meeting, I apologize that I don't know the official's name, and it's probably a good thing that I don't. Because if there's ever an issue, now they know who to track down. But I do not know this official's name. But he is one of the head guys from IMCA, and he's walking around these race cars doing a more in-depth inspection. I would imagine, this is just my opinion, I have no clue, but I would imagine that he kind of surprised everybody by showing up to this event unannounced until the drivers' meeting. So he took the top 4, and he'll be taking all top 4 drivers and looking over with a fine-tooth comb after they are done racing on the racetrack. We go back to green flag. Restart lap number 1. Nation trying to put a charge to the inside of Michael Johnson. He took a peek, but was not able to get the job done out of turn number 2. And issues going on here for Al Johnson. Might have chucked a left rear spring as that car is sitting on the ground. You can see the handling is not to his liking. Al Johnson in the 43J machine. Aaron Farrell in the first car, or 1ST. Now over here, Michael Black. He is in the A main event. In the number 27M. He is the 4th car on the track, 4th place. This battle back here. It's getting exciting. It was exciting, but now Johnson's going to slip back and lose a spot to Aaron Farrell. Now Farrell's getting sideways. So this is 5th and 6th on the racetrack. Matt Lewis unable to continue on for whatever reason. So he's automatically going to be in the B main unless his car is hurt more than we know. Lee Jensen piloting the number 20S machine. The Johnson Racing Stables. Like mentioned, he'll be doing double duty tonight in the Pro Stocks, driving the 57 Chevy, number 72 Pro Stock, and then you see him leading this heat race, number 2, for the Sport Mods as a white flag flies for Jensen and all others. So if you tuned in last night, you saw that 57 Chevy, you're going to cheer him on if you're a fan of Lee Jensen, because he just took the checkered flag in the Sport Mods. You get to cheer for him twice tonight. And a lot of people loving that old school body on that Pro Stock. The Dragon Slayer definitely getting a lot of attention all over social media because of it. So now these top 4 in the Sport Mods will go meet the head IMCA inspector for the night. And the previous top 4 are just now able to leave. This gate, if you were tuned in last night, this pit gate that opens and closes was opened during the race by an incident down the back straightaway in the American stocks. Thankfully, I mean, it could have been a lot worse, but thankfully it wasn't. It just ripped. It only just ripped off the right side, right rear of Sean Martin Jr.'s American stock, which that video is posted on our Low Budget TV Facebook page, as well as shared on the Race FedEx Facebook page. So if you want to see that, but that's where that tire mark hit, and it hit right before that edge there of the concrete wall. And of course, when Martin hit that gate, it broke the latch, which means one thing, that the gate started opening and ripped. Once that car came across that concrete edge, completely ripped off that right rear end housing. Everybody's okay. It only created a fight in the pits afterwards, but everybody gonna live on to fight and race another day. Heat race number 3 heading out to the racetrack. It'll be Brenda Kirby in the 5K starting on the pole. To her outside is the number 5 machine of Dennis Simonovich. I had to double check that last name. Inside row number 2, the number 88C of Austin Ruskoff. The 75B of Brendan Fry. Inside row number 3 has the number 74 of Wild Wayne Dotson. And just outside, the number 28 machine, that is driver Paul Harris. And rounding out the field, the number 32, driven by Kirk Morgan. And we go green flag. He raced number 3 for the Sport Mods. And some contact going on back here. Dotson not up. Morgan's gonna bounce off a couple of cars. Dotson did not get a good run through turns number 1 and 2. We've got a swarm of Sport Mods all jostling for position down the front straightaway. Down into turn number 1. Top 4 SA run, number 5 machine, your leader. I'm trying to keep an eye on this back here though. Simonovic is your leader as Dotson and Morgan duking it out for 5th place. Kirby in the 2nd spot. 3rd will be Fry, and 4th will be Ruskov. So those 4 so far heading into the main event. This battle for 5th is still raging on between Kirk Morgan in the 32 on the outside and Wayne Dotson down low. Like Morgan got a piece of the wall down the back straightaway, just a little nick on the wall, and that will allow Dotson to get by for 5th. That could open up the track for him a little bit if he's got anything for Ruskov. Battle for the 2nd spot gets a little contact. Fry and Kirby, they don't want to make too much contact because Dotson started to come on the charge, trying to go for Ruskov in that transfer spot. Meanwhile, Simonovic out front, checking out. He's got himself about a 10 car length lead over the 2nd spot. A Fry in the number 75. Trying to keep an eye on here, though. This is where the battle is. Lap number 6, 2 laps to go. And Ruskov trying to build a cushion between himself and Dotson behind him by getting around Brendan Kirby. If he can do so, he goes down low, keeps it off the side of the number 5K. White flag flying for Simonovic. And check out this lead, the number 5 heading into turn 3 and 4. Dennis Simonovic crosses the line. He raced number 3 winner in the Sport Mods. So Simonovic, Fry, Kirby, and Ruskov, the 4 heading into the A main event. And it'll be Dotson, Morgan, and the number 28 of Harris. All going to have to work their way through the B main event. Coming up a little bit later in tonight's racing program. So again, thank you all for tuning in here live on Race FedEx. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight from Santa Maria Raceway. A ton of racing action midway through our Memorial Day weekend. I guess technically today would be the halfway mark, unless you've got work on Monday. Like I think I'm scheduled to, but don't tell them I'm going to take the day off. Heat race number 4, the final heat race for the Sport Mods, rolling out on the track. Mini stocks coming up next. So if you're a viewer that loves those mini stocks out here, rear wheel drive mini stocks coming up next. Heat race number 1 after the Sport Mod. Heat number 4. All right, let's take a look who's in this one. Starting on the pole, the number 14H has a field getting the 1 to go. Matt Hagio to his outside. Mike Dean in the number 48. Inside row number 2 is the number 44, piloted by Shane DeVolder. To Shane's outside, the number 18 of Chris McKellar. Nick Spainhoward inside row 3, the number 40, the 97 of Gary Dutton, and rounding out the field, the number 15 of Paul Guglielmone. Here we go. Heat race number 4 for the Sport Mod. A little bit of issues right now for Mike Dean in the number 48. He slips all the way back. Battle up here, 3 wide at one point for second spot. With that is the transfer spot. Nick Spainhauer in the number 40 machine holds on to it at the moment. The yellow comes out. Problems for the number 48 of Mike Dean. Looks like he spun out and got into the tractor tire down below. We didn't have too many issues with the tractor tires last night, but overnight when the track was being worked on, if you were tuning in last night, these tires were actually behind the berm in the corner. Now they are pushed out almost onto the racing surface to allow the groove to be pushed up towards the wall more, so we might be able to see some multi-groove racing, more so than we did last night. So the field getting all lined up for this lap number 1 restart. 7 to go. Lights out from the flag stand. I guess it's not technically a flag stand, it's just a flagman standing on top of the wall. But you get my point. Here we go. Restart lap number 1. And we go green. Hagio brings the field down into turn number 1. Behind him is DeVolder in the number 44. McKellar 3rd, Spainhauer 4th. And a bit of a gap between himself and Dutton. Battle for 3rd. Spainhauer looking low on McKellar. Now McKellar going to the outside of DeVolder, trying for that 2nd spot. Spainhauer might make it a 3 wide battle for 2nd. Notes some contact, and here comes Dutton. He wants into this A main event. He does not want to deal with a B main tonight, and he has the spot out of turn number 4. So Gary Dutton moving his way into the feature, pushing Spainhauer out of it. But now Dutton with a bobble, Spainhauer back in it, Guglielmone, or Giuliani I should say, and the 15 all there, and around is DeVolder all by himself out of turn number 4 with help from Dutton. That was after the fact. So Dutton now is in the show again because of DeVolder's mistake. And that transfer spot is the number 97 of Gary Dutton. So he holds on to the 4th spot. Giuliani and Dean are on the outside looking in. Looks like these two might be able to battle each other. We go yellow for DeVolder again. Looped it in turn number 4. So for sure, we know that DeVolder bringing out that caution he has done. In this heat race, he'll be parked. A one and done policy in effect. And he will have to fight his way through that B main later on tonight for the Sport Mods. 5 laps down, 3 laps to go. When we get back to racing, all right, so Hagio with a clean run up front. McKellar on the charge. I'd be curious if anybody has anything for that transfer spot. Anthony Giuliani in the 15 is 5th on the outside looking in. He wants by that 97 of Gary Dutton right in front of him on this restart. You can see him trying to anticipate the restart. Field at the ready. We go green. 3 laps to go in the final heat race for the Sport Mods. Hagio continues to lead on over McKellar. And now Dutton wants by Spainhauer. He puts his nose down low. on the inside of the red number 40. White flag coming out next time by. No pressure from Dutton. Not until now, at least. White flag flying. Dutton wants third. If these two make any type of mistake that results in a big-time bobble like you're seeing now, calamity could happen. Battle for the third spot into turn number 3. Checkered flag flying for the 14H of Matt Hagio. And these two get by the line clean. Giuliani, Dean are going to be going into the B main, as well as DeVolder. And those are your Sport Mod heat races here tonight at the Nationals. You'll be seeing them again later on for the B mains, followed by the main event for the Sport Mods. It'll be a 20-lap main event. They'll be the first division out to kick off our main events here later on tonight. Mini stock heat race number 1 of the night. And starting on the pole, the number 69 of Anthony Magarossi. To his outside, the number 56 in a truck. That's Greg Noah. Not sure what's going on here. I think we're halfway racing. Yeah, I think so. The 95 can't keep up. Hang on. If we go green, I'll be impressed. If we're going green. Last night, this flagman hated these starts, but he likes them tonight. All right. So battle up here. 4 cars all in a bunch. I was going to get through the starting lineup, but damn, they're wasting no time. The number 38, Dylan Thornton, slipping and sliding up high. More slipping and sliding. I'm not too sure. Oh, and around goes the number 2. A Pinto around in turn number 2. Maybe keeps it going. Is this going to be our caution? We go yellow, flagman. I think he's shooting off around. Flagman throwing the yellow here for the number 2 of Kelly Campanelli. So lost it all by herself over in the corner, turns number 1 and 2. So your leader at the moment, who started to run away with this one, good-looking car of Tom Medeiros in the 68T machine. Greg Noah in the 56, a 69 machine. That is driver Anthony Magarossi. The 62, that is not Ricky Bobby, though he wanted me to call him Bobby Ricky. That is Anthony. I'm sorry, that's a 56. 62 of Rowdy Dickard. 38T of Dylan Thornton. Number 455 is the driver who just showed up. So I'm not going to have a name for him at the moment, but we'll work on that for the main event. The 43, that is Levi Burgett. And rounding out the field, the number 95, who had a bit of an issue, not only on that start, but also in practice and hot lap session, of Jennifer Osigera. I believe she is a rookie out here tonight, so we'll see how Jennifer does, how she progresses tonight. But here we go. Green flag is flying. Restart lap number 2. 6 laps to go in this first heat race. Someone is trying. I think someone's doing a drive-by down low in these mini stocks. Greg Noah losing a spot down low for the 3rd spot. Yeah, he's down. Looks like that truck is not hooked up and starting to lose some hood pins. 56 of Noah slipping back from that front row start. Thornton to the inside of Rowdy Dickard. The 38T getting by the 62, Ricky Bobby lookalike. And Thornton all sorts of crossed up out of turn number 4. His nickname, Thornton's nickname is Tumbleweed. there's one of two ways that nickname came about. Thornton hard on that gas pedal. He's flipping and sliding. Dickard wants by on the number 62. He's looking down low for third. It's the best and only battle to watch on the track. Everybody single file. Leaders closing in on the 95 of Jennifer Oseguera. Someone's got a major exhaust leak or something. So this is the best battle to watch as we're seeing this race play out. White flag is flying for the number 68. Tom Medeiros running away with this one, but it's Thornton on the inside and some contact, and around goes the 69. And Jennifer's gonna smash into it. And the 95, Jennifer hard on those brakes, cannot woe it up in time. So Oseguera and the number 95 gets into the 69 of Anthony Magarossi. Curious to see if that was a wheel shot and if the 69 can continue on. There it goes. So Magarossi's going to continue on, and we're going to see a green and a white flag on this restart. Right before Medeiros was about to take the checkered flag, the caution came out. So 2 cars out of this mini stock heat race. Kelly Campanelli and Magarossi in the 69. Jennifer Oseguera in the 95 already had damage in the front end. She's going to strike out twice tonight. Heat race crash and a hot lap crash. So, with that, we're going to get this field ready to go again. Be one at the line. Tom Medeiros in the 68T, your leader. Dylan Tumbleweed Thornton, that is, in the number 38T in second spot. Rowdy Dickard in third. Greg Noah slipped back a ton, but he's only in the 4th spot. So he didn't slip back too much, I guess. He started picking up that 56. And the 455, definitely with the tallest number we have in the mini stocks tonight. I have to get you a name for that car. As we get ready to go green, restart with a green and the white. Thornton with a great restart. He's to the outside of Medeiros. So Dylan Thornton wants his heat race victory, but he's got to get by the number 68T to do so. Thornton up high, rim riding that wall, but he's going to spin out of second spot. Medeiros checkered flag, and everybody's going to get through turn number 4 cleanly with Thornton around. So Dickard comes home second. Then we got the 455, the nameless driver, in third. Now between you and me, did we all see that spin coming from Thornton? He's been hard on that gas pedal on his dry slick track, and it was only a matter of time until that 38 was gonna loop it. Unfortunately, out of the second spot. Heat race number 2. Starting to roll out onto the racetrack. Getting some help, actually. It's off to a slow rollout. Bruce Fink's going to need some assistance from the tow vehicle. Tow number 1, that is. No, Bruce Fink is just going to get pushed off the track. So maybe the car died in staging. Could not get that 00 fired back up. So the second and final heat race for the mini stocks rolling out onto the racetrack. 8 more laps to finish off the mini stock heat races for the weekend / the night.
Second of 2 heat races now for the mini stocks. Here's your lineup. 98 Sugar on the pole. 23C, Christian McMillan. For 3, Dylan Potter.
You want to see some beautiful numbers as we get ready to go racing? This is my treat for all of you watching here on Race Feed X. Look at these numbers right here. Talk about a work of art from the vinyl department. The number 98. Rolling out here in style. So Ken Shugarts in the 98 will start on the pole to his outside. The number 23C. That is driver Chris McElreath.
6 tickets for $5.
Inside row number 2 has a number 3 machine piloted by Dylan Potter. To Dylan's outside, the number 13, that is Raymond Shoemaker. Then we got the number 19, the only station wagon I've ever seen in a mini stock. How about that? A Pinto wagon. And the number 19, he'll start row number 3. That is Jesse McCauley. To Jesse's outside will be the number 27, driver Rochelle Kendrick. Then rounding out the last 3 cars in the starting lineup, the 37 of Chris Bucare, the 15 of Jason Womack, and the 46 of David Kavanaugh. We'll round out your mini stock heat race field. As we get ready to go, green flag. The top 4 know what's going on. That station wagon on a holiday road. As we go green. I'm excited to see a station wagon in the mini stocks race. But first off, take a look up here. Battle for the lead, battle for the second spot. So Ken Shugarts in the 98, your leader. Out of turn number 4, gets it all crossed up. More crossed up down the front straightaway and to his outside. He was trying the number 3 machine of Dylan Potter. He's trying to take advantage of those 2 bobbles from Shugarts. Bucare in the 37 on the inside, battle for the second spot. And the number 37, here comes Chris Bucare. Top 4. All close together in this mini stock heat race. Shugarts out front in the 98. Don't say that duct tape won't make you fast, but Shugarts all crossed up again. Out of turn number 4, the rest of the top 4 all ready to pounce. But Shugarts with the, I think that's a strategy. And this time it doesn't work. I thought that was his way of making his car extra wide, but Potter's going to get by as well as Bucare. Battle up front for the lead. I think if this continues on, Shugarts is going to start something big like he's doing right now. More contact. There goes the door off the left side of the number 23C. I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh. This is mini stocks. So unfortunate for Chris McElreath, he will lose the door and the left front fender. Shugarts got into the side of the number 13 heading into turn number 1 of Raymond Shoemaker. And then when Raymond was spinning out, he slid up the track and peeled the door off of that 23C machine of McElreath. So Chris McElreath, I believe that's how you pronounce the last name, is going to go home tonight. Whether he's probably going to continue on racing, they just got to bolt that door back up together somehow. But he's definitely going to be going home with some bent body panels later on this evening. Gonna need the toe off. And the door is gonna nearly fall off. No. Pretty sure one big tug and that door is just gonna come off. Come on, you can do it, Burley man. There you go. Now you can safely push the vehicle off and not have to worry. Okay, do you wonder if the door is going to stay on? I think it's going to roll off. I've seen this before. That door is probably going to blow off onto the tow truck. And there it is. And now the tow truck is going to run it over. Damn it, I'm good. Because I've towed a lot of wrecked cars myself with a forklift. So 4 laps into this mini stock heat race number 2. 4 down, 4 to go.
Halfway through the same lap heat race on the restart, Dylan Potter, number 3, your leader, followed by 37, Chris Bouquet, and number 15, Jason Womack.
All right, 1 to go from the flag stand. So Dylan Potter, your leader. Dylan Potter wasting no time with his restart, keeping that pace up high. Chris Bouquet in the 2nd spot. Jason Womack in 3rd. We go green. And Bouquet with the charge into turn number 1. Womack trying that outside groove. Dylan Potter, your leader, trying to defend both of them from getting by. Halfway through this heat race, we go back to green. And it's a good battle up front. Bouquet and Dylan Potter. Up next will be the Pro Stocks getting ready for their heat races. And Bouquet is almost clear, but Dylan Potter gets by on the outside and leads again on lap number 6. So if this is the preview of the main event, I think we're in for a good night of racing for the mini stocks. Up front, you see Dylan Potter and Chris Bouquet duking it out for the victory in this 2nd heat race for the mini stocks. Some bumper tagging going into turn number 1. That'll push up Potter in the center of 1 and 2. Bouquet to the inside and clears down the back straightaway. Potter trying to return the favor, but Chris Bouquet was going to steal this victory across the line. Chris Bouquet in the 37 takes a lead on the final lap to win this heat race number 2. 2nd spot will be Dylan Potter. 3rd, Jason Womack. Pro Stocks coming up next. Starting lineup for heat race number 1 for the Pro Stocks. Justin Crockett in the number 21 JT starts on the pole. To his outside will be the number 11 M machine. It's driven by Clay Daly. We go green flag. Clay Daly doing double duty here tonight in the late models and the Pro Stocks. Dirty Doug Thornton in the 38T. 3rd, 4th, Tim Randolph. 5th will be the 5N of Frank Nyback. And the 50 of Chris Smith rounds out your drivers in this first race. One driver not able to start the race as scheduled, the number 49 of Tone. As we have a battle up front for the lead. Crockett holds on. Daly trying to get by and some contact, and Daly's gonna spin Crockett hard into the tractor tires. Major damage for that 21 JT. That 21 is wadded up. It'd be a miracle if there's no frame damage or suspension damage, but that's a lot of damage cosmetically at least. Potentially is a radiator that's probably knocked out of that 21 JT. All from contact down the front straightaway from Daly. Getting into the back of the 21 JT. You can see how much Crockett shoved in that tractor tire.
2 laps down, 6 to go in this lap. He's on the first lap.
And they're going to need the hook to get the 21 JT of Crockett off the racetrack. So not the way you want to start day number 2 for the Nationals. That could have just been the start and the end to Crockett's run here tonight. So Justin Crockett, I apologize if I said Devin. That's JT of Justin Crockett. Needing the hook out of the center of 1 and 2. Green flag waves, lap number 2 restart. In heat race number 1 for the Pro Stocks. Smith trying to work on Randolph for 3rd. Thornton trying to work on Daly for the lead. This race pretty single file at the moment. Daly trying to search to find where that grip is, where the moisture's at in this racetrack. Clay Daly, your leader. He'll be racing in the modifieds. He's doing triple duty tonight. Modifieds, Pro Stocks here right now, and the late models. So triple duty. And Chris Smith with an issue on the back straightaway. The number 50 pulls into the infield. Chris Smith was in 4th till now. Doug Thornton in the 2nd spot, trying to figure out a way to close in on Daly, but the white flag and the time's running out. White flag for Clay Daly and all others. He's going to work on that high groove. Now, what I've seen in this heat race, by taking a look at the way Daly's been running this track, he's tried a different line every single corner, searching to see what this main event's going to be like. Checkered flag for Clay Daly and the 11M machine. 2nd spot, Thornton 3rd, Randolph 4th, Nyvac, and 5th will be Tone. The number 68J will start up front on the pole in his wedge body looking machine 68S. Billy the Kid Simpkins to his outside, the 3D of Mike Johnson, who had a bit of he was on the other side of a rivalry last night. The number 66, that is driver Chad Schaffer. And then to his outside, the number 26 of Billy Griffin. Got Hollywood Tina Bell, the 20T machine. That is Don Mosier. And rounding out the field, the number 33 of Rob Gilbertson. Go green. Pro Stock Heat Race number 2. Battle for the lead early. Johnson on the outside. Simpkins down low. Who's going to lead lap number 1? Out of the corner, it is going to be Simpkins leading the first lap. And Johnson still with that outside momentum, working on that lead. Simpkins down low in the B-Tough Bakersfield magazine. To his outside, the 3D. The Sidewinder Grill, number 3D. And these two have been side by side since the pace laps, but not anymore out of turn 2. Simpkins with the run and clears Johnson. So 66 of Don Chad Schaffer, I'm sorry. And fourth, the 26 of Billy Griffin is up to the third spot. And back here, a battle for fifth is going on between the 20T of Don Mosier and Rob Gilbertson in the 33. And then Mosier's going to spin out, collect Gilbertson, and great driving by Tina Bell in the 29 to avoid. Mosier's going to have some pretty heavy cosmetic damage on his left front. So Don Mosier slipped up a little too much out of turn number 4, and Gilbertson clung with he's a 5-star clinger out of turn number 4 and grabbed that front end and carried Mosier around. With that, the one and done policy in effect, Mosier's going to have to pull into the infield and park it for the remainder of this heat race. 5 laps in out of 8. Simpkins, your leader. Jensen's in the next heat race. Simpkins, your leader. Second spot of Johnson. Third. 26 of Griffin. Fourth, Schaffer. Gilbertson in fifth, and Bell rounding out your top 6 cars remaining on the racetrack. Green flag is flying. Schaffer not able to get a good restart, maybe has a tire down. The way that car is reacting, definitely has no forward bite. Try to take a look. Yeah, right rear is no more, and he finally notices it. So he's probably going to cruise to the remainder of this race. White flag flying for Billy the Kid out of turn number 4. Fun race to watch. Simpkins and Johnson racing it out up front, but it was Simpkins with the edge on Johnson. Checkered flag, and the second of 3 heat races for the Pro Stocks here tonight at the Nationals. Second spot will be Johnson in second, the 26 of Billy Griffin in third, 33 of Gilbertson fourth, and the 29 of Bell coming home from this heat race in fifth. So, starting on the pole in this third heat race will be the 54 winner of last night, Blazing Brady Bell, to his outside. The number 13 of Mayhem, Matt Mayo. Aaron Cervantes in the 718 starts on the inside of the 72 of the Dragon Slayer, Lee Jensen. Trying to see which battle to watch. We got battles all throughout this field. The yellow's going to come out a false start. The starter does not like that one, but he approved the mini stock start earlier on, so I don't know. The remainder of cars in this one, the 27 machine, and that is driver Ian Hunter, and the 95 rounds out the field, Steve Worstel. That is your starting lineup for the final heat race for the Pro Stocks. We're going to try this one again. Complete restart. And we go. No green. No green from the flagman. But we're seeing a hell of a 3-wide battle. Now the caution's out. So one of the things in the driver's meeting that was announced multiple times was do not start the race until you get to the exit of turn number 4. Not a moment sooner is what the race director said in the driver's meeting. Twice now, Brady Bell has gotten a little excited out of turn number, well, technically entering turn 3, and this is exactly what I was expecting. Brady Bell getting sent to the back for the start issues. So with that, Mayo is going to start on the pole, and Cervantes to his outside. So lights out, here we go. Third attempt at a start. And it's third heat race for the Pro Stocks. Mayo bringing this field to the green. Let's see if he fumbles on the start. I think that one will pass. The flagman is shaking his head, yes. And we are racing down into turn number 1. Cervantes on the outside. Mayo down low. Here comes Jensen, the number 72. They're all looking for a way to get to the lead. Mayo is going to hold off in turns 3 and 4 and lead lap number 1. Jensen goes up to the high side, trying to look for that moisture. Cervantes running the medium, the middle groove, if you will. That's where the drivers seem to enjoy the most. That's what we've been seeing all last night and a lot of today's heat racing. That center groove is where it's at. Cervantes gets a little sideways though, and that will allow Jensen to the outside, looking for the second spot, side by side into turn number 3. And Jensen will clear Cervantes on the exit of 4. Back here, Brady Bell and Worstel duking it out. Bell in the 54, Worstel in the 95, and Hunter in the 27 in front of this group. Worstel down low, trying to get by Hunter for 4th. Cervantes and Jensen battling again for the second spot. Jensen sideways, hangs on to the second spot for now. Cervantes down low. He's not inside moisture, but he'll drift up wide, allowing him to clear Jensen out of turn number 2. Jensen with a fight back to the inside. Battle for the second spot continues on. Seems like the pace gets slower and slower because of these two hard on the gas, but the action continues on. Two great battles to watch as the white flag flies for the 13 of Matt Mayo. Battle for second, battle for 4th. Who's going to do it? Who's going to make it happen? Jensen with the run on the outside gets by Cervantes for second. Cervantes throws it hard. Contact, more contact. They're beating, they're banging across the line. Cervantes gets the spot back from Jensen. And now you all know that that's not a real chrome bumper on Jensen's 57 Chevy. And now it's got a dinged up left front fender, possibly a blown out headlight. Just hope the headlight's not glass. As we get ready for Hobby Stock Heat Race number 1 of the night, we go green. And it's action-packed. on Mead in the number 99. Oh, some contact between some teammates. 52 Perry Alderman and Cody Sly in the 25. Don Mead with a run, that 99. Fast last night. He wants the lead, but he's going to make some contact with the 52. So Hobie Conway in the number 52, your leader. Aaron Bruce in the 18A in 3rd. Cody Sly in 4th. The 38 is slipping back. He gets passed by Taylor James and Sly. James in the number 3 machine. A longtime racer in the hobby stocks here at Santa Maria. Battling for 4th on the inside of Cody Sly. And some contact over in the corner. That's not a surprise for the hobby stocks. It's 52 Perry Alderman on a mission, but we got a car around the number 44 of Gary Garvey, as well as a 52 and 3 and 4 of Cody Sly. But so far, no yellow. So Hobie out in the lead, the number 52. Hobie Conway in that kind of, battle back here. I was going to say in that Stars and Stripe looking 52, perfect for this weekend. Here comes Taylor James in the number 3. Battle for third on the inside of the 18A of Aaron Bruce. Bruce is going to wash up because of that contact, but with a run on the outside, gets the door slammed shut by James. And now Bruce with a major push up the track. Now the battle continues for the second spot. Taylor James on a run here in this heat race, but Mead's going to slip sideways and tuck himself in between the tractor tires as the white flag is flying. And the driver who fell back to last, Don Mead in the 99. James with a run up to the lead, trying to get by the 52 of Hobie Conway, but the yellow is going to fly. Lap number 7 for, looks like debris over in the center of turn number 2, literally right in the top side of the groove. It looks like it's from the number 52 of Anthony Sly, or Cody Sly, I apologize. Anthony Sly is going to be coming up here in just a heat race or two. So green and a white flag are going to fly together on this restart. Hobie Conway in the 52 machine has led this one from the start, but it's been that 3 of Taylor James, who started in the back and has worked her way up to second and almost into the lead until the caution came out. She's got literally one lap to get the job done if she wants to win this heat race, number 1 for the hobby stocks. So again, go ahead and answer away. Our Low Budget TV Race FeedX coverage question has been posted. I'm going to read off where your home track is. We want to know where to go next time here on Race FeedX. But first, we got to know where we would be able to see you on a weekly basis. So here we go. Restart lap number 7. Green and white flag ready by the flagman. And we're going. 1 lap for Taylor James. She's already anticipated the restart up into the lead through turns number 1 and 2. So that was a very good move by James. Gets by Hobie Conway, who's led this one from the start through turns number 3 and 4. Taylor James comes home with a checkered flag in heat number 1 for the hobby stocks. That's a fast car to look out for here tonight. So Conway in second spot, Aaron Bruce in third, Alderman 4th, Mead 5th. Oh boy. All right, so I'm going to get to some to answers here. So we got 4 hobby stock heat races, and one thing I forgot to mention is we've got a transfer spot in this one. We've got a B-main coming up later this evening. Mark Irwin, I'm reading off some comments, so go ahead and comment away. Mark Irwin, a Bakersfield Speedway driver, so his home track's in Bakersfield, California. Garrett saying Pearsonville Speedway in Pearsonville, California. Garrett, please let me know if that track is operating, because last time I heard of, I drove past Pearsonville many years ago, and it looked like it was a wrecking yard next to the hubcap capital of the world. So that's in Pearsonville, California. Danette says Antioch Speedway in Antioch, California. Andrew, Antioch Speedway as well. Joey Beasley, Antioch Speedway. So we got some northern people up top. Ryan Brown, another Antioch Speedway traveler. He also noticed that he's got a family in the grandstands. Chris Falkenberg says Merced Speedway and Lucy Falkenberg, Shady Oak Speedway, Texas. So we got a lot of cool racetracks. That's a track I want to go up to, Antioch Speedway. I've heard nothing but good about Antioch. So maybe we're going to have to take a trip up there sometime this year. And carry it live on Race FedEx. Heat race number 2 about to get going, as Frazier is going to bring this one to the green in the number 15 F. Tim Correa in the 64. Chad Johnson in the number 26, who I believe is tonight piloted by Nicholas Johnson. Chad Johnson won last night, as well as Nicholas Johnson in the Hobby Stocks and the American Stocks. Mike Hill Jr. in the 59. Then we got the 33T machine, that is Tyler Carlson. Good racing battle for the second spot, 3 wide, as Tim Correa trying to hold off 2 Bakersfield Speedway regulars. Mike Hill Jr. up to the second spot with a move down low on that 3 wide battle. Rich Denman in the 5. He's trying to get up to Carlson's number 33 machine. He looked high, went down low, and made the pass down the back straightaway. And rounding out the field, there's Nicholas Johnson in his American stock, racing in the Hobby Stocks here tonight. So that would be Chad Johnson in the number 26, trying to do the sweep in the Hobby Stocks this weekend. Correa in 4th, trying to get to Chad Johnson. These 3 drivers were 3 wide just a couple laps ago. It looks like Correa might be overdriving that 64 machine, pushing hard into turn number 1. That will allow Denman down low and into 4th. And the number 5 machine, normally driven by Sean Martin Sr., Rich Denman stepping behind the wheel of the number 5 Hobby Stock. But it's been Jason Frazier up front since the start of this race, and the number 15 continuing on with his lead. Mike Hill Jr. won the Nationals last year, so you know he knows this track well. Bakersfield Speedway competitor, gets to travel down here to Santa Maria Speedway, Raceway, every now and then. Tim Correa still having problems with that 64 handling. Looks like it's picking up a major push through the corners. You can see that car cranked all the way to the left, but still wanting to push high. White flag flies for Frazier and the number 15 machine. So Marcus Frazier through turns number 3 and 4. Denman on the inside for 3rd. Marcus Frazier, checkered flag. Denman gets by Chad Johnson for 3rd. And Mike Hill Jr. is going to come home in 2nd in this heat race, number 2 for the Hobby Stocks. So with that, top 4 transfers will be Frazier, Hill, Denman, and Johnson. Correa, Carlson, and the 1N of Nicholas Johnson, all going to have to fight their way through the B main here in this one for the Hobby Stocks. Let's go back to those coverage questions. John Belando Jr. says Antioch Speedway, so we know where a lot of our viewers are. That's for sure. A lot of people cheering on drivers who regularly race up there. Steve says his home track is Paris Auto Speedway. That's a fun track. I've been there a couple of times. Larry's home track is the Indianapolis Speedrome in Indianapolis, Indiana. That's a place that I want to go visit for the figure 8 races, that's for sure. Corey says Irwindale Speedway in Irwindale, California, and the Speedway at Willow Springs in Rosemont, California as well. Kylie Conway, the competitor at the Bakersfield Speedway in Bakersfield, California. Ben Lickey, King Speedway in Hanford, California. That's a fun track as well. A big old 3/8 mile D-shaped oval. Scott Gatson, his home track is Bakersfield Speedway in Oildale, California. Justin Dunn says Paris because I lived too far from Bakersfield. Howard Law, Marysville Raceway in Marysville, California. Tim Bond, Evergreen Speedway in Monroe, Washington. Tim, I want you to do me a favor. Can you tell me, if I were to go to Evergreen Speedway, what airport would I fly into? Can you tell me that? Answer away. Doyle Graham says Santa Maria, and Andrew May says Bakersfield Speedway in Bakersfield, California. Thank you all for answering that coverage question. And hell, still talk away. I do want to know, how do you fly into Evergreen Speedway? Because I'd like to cross that one off my bucket list as well. Heat race number 3 of 4 for the Hobby Stocks on the racetrack. Michael Scruggs going to lead this one to the green to his outside, Dave Condon. And the number 13 machine, Anthony Sly. And the number 2, Roger Noble. In the 15, we go green. Chris Settlemeyer in the 84. Then we got the 23C of Eric Simmental. And rounding out the field, the number 11X of Alex Herrera. We go rain down into turn number 3. We're trying for a 3 wide, but Scruggs leads the field to the stripe, leads lap number 1. And so far so clean from second on back. This is where the action's at. You see, look at Simmental's run. Up through the middle, a great run the 21C of Simmental has. So Simmental wants in, and he is in the feature as they run. This is a battle for the bubble. Now it's going to be a battle for the transfer spot. Top 4 transfer. That'll mean Noble is looking to get into the feature as he takes a peek to the inside of the 4th place driver, the number 2 of Anthony Sly, but no forward bite on the exit of turn number 4. So the race is on for the transfer spot. Settlemeyer with a run. He does a slide job in front of Noble. Noble with a return back. 4th place in your transfer spot is that blue number 2 on the left side of your screen. Behind him, he does not want to look back because he's got 2 hungry hounds on that rear bumper. Here comes Settlemeyer down low in the number 84. Chris Settlemeyer trying to keep it clean, but only a matter of time until he's got to use that bumper on this short track. Lap number 5, 3 laps to go. Battle for the 3rd spot, right in front of your transfer spot. Battle here between Settlemeyer and Sly. Dave Condon and Alex Herrera and the 11. Herrera's going to actually slip back. This is now a big 4-car battle for the transfer spot. So Sly still holds on in that number 2, 3 wide behind him. Herrera slips all the way back out of the show. And it's a white flag lap. Settlemeyer's got 1 more lap to get by the 2 of Sly. And Condon with a big bobble. The 2 cars that are in the show might be slipping back out of it. Across the line, 91 of Michael Scruggs takes the checkered flag as Settlemeyer muscles his way past Condon. Condon hard into the tires. And Chris Settlemeyer finishes 4th. In that battle, he puts himself into the A main event, and Condon with some heavy damage will have to go to the B main. So not only does he have damage, but he's got a lot of work to do before that B main that he is now in. That is some B main intensity in those heat races right there. So the 4th and final heat race coming up for the hobby stocks, followed by the limited late models and then the West Coast late models. They're going to have to put that tractor tire back in its place over on the exit of turn number 4. We've got some more answers going on here. So Jordan saying Antioch Speedway is his home track. Ben, Antioch Speedway as well. John McKinley, his home track's in Bakersfield. That's Bakersfield Speedway. And Doug says Baylands. LOL. Dominic says Cycle Land Speedway in Chico.
8-lap heat race for the Rugged Radios Hobby Stocks. On the pole, number 21, Kyle Wood. 87, Matt McEwen. Number 8, Tom Grinzik. 00, Matt Dockstetter. 11, Billy Nelson. 43, Sam Garcia. 4X.
So again, thank you all for tuning in this weekend to enjoy some racing action live on Race for Ducks from Santa Maria. Johnny Campanelli. If I even, hopefully I said that last name correctly. Would like to see us out at Petaluma Speedway. I'd like to see me out there as well. So the fourth and final hobby stock heat race of the weekend rolling out now. Top 4 transfer. Remember that, folks. That's a big number. We just saw a big battle in that last heat race. Something that we love to see. A lot of drama goes on when you got a transfer spot to deal with. And we'll see what this one will bring us now, as the 21K of Kyle Wood will bring this field to the green flag on the pole to his outside. The number 87 of Matt McEwen inside row number 2, the driver who kills it out here in the hobby stocks. The number 8 of Tom Grinzik. He was killing it last night, had a lead, but the rear end broke. That's what put him out, made him a DNF for the night. So Tom Grinzik trying to turn that bad luck around. The 00, Matt Dockstader, the 11. That is driver Billy Nelson to his outside, the number 43. That is not Richard Petty. That is Sam Garvin. And rounding out the field, the number 4 of Bone Schuyler. Brings us fourth and final heat race for the hobby stocks to the green. Top 4 transfer. That means that battle for the transfer spot is right here. Dockstader on the outside of his 00 needs to get by the 11 of Nelson. And Schuyler is going to throw it way hard into turn number 3 and 4. He wants into this A main event. Kevin Wood out front. Battle for the second spot. McEwen trying on the inside of the number 8 of Grinzik. Matt McEwen, number 87, with a fast one in last night's heat race. The driver that holds on to the transfer spot is the 11 of Nelson. So Billy Nelson in that 11 machine actually opening up a bit of a gap between himself and 5th place driver 00 of Matt Dockstader. Sam Garvin now on the inside of Bones Schuyler in the 4X machine. Bones did not race. Wood around on the front straightaway on exit of the corner. Got on the gas and the car did not hook up. So now Wood, who was leading, is in the B main as they run. This is the battle for the transfer spot. Dockstader has it. Now Wood got it. So Wood back into the A feature, but that stack up created a big 4-car group in and around the transfer spot at the moment. But Wood with that power, he's got that 21K hooked up, made a bobble out of turn number 4, and nearly lost that A main transfer. Luckily, he had such a lead that he's able to get back on the gas, do a 360, and get the spot back. So as we were saying before all that happened, Sam Garvin, Bone Skyler duking it out. Garvin down low in the Richard Petty look-alike. Bone Skyler did not race last night in his 4 machine, so he showed up here tonight trying for anything, but he's going to have to do a bonus race as they run. He is outside looking in. Tom Grinzig out of turn number 4. Heat race victory for the number 8 machine. Already turning his streak of bad luck around. McEwen second. Nelson in third. And Kyle Wood, who almost did not make it into the A-main event, made it somehow, some way by passing Doc Stater midway through that heat race. So heat races for the hobby stocks are done. Up next will be the limited late model heat race, just one, which most of those cars are going to be doing double duty technically. They're going to be racing in their limited late model race, which is a points paying race. It's a local division out here at Santa Maria Raceway. And then they're going to turn their cars right back around and get into the late model heat races. They're going to be doing double duty with the same car here tonight. So Ray Trimble leads this field to the green. Christian Copley, winner of the last night main event, already jumps to the lead in the number 4 machine. McKelly in the 96, up to third. Johnny Blackford in the 6th, 4th place. And rounding out the field, that is the number 21 of Mike Riccardi. Sneaks by Johnny Blackford, who's pushing up in the corner. Let's take a look here. You can see Blackford working that. No, he's got a better line through 1 and 2 that time by. He's going to close in on Riccardi. Battle for 4th, I should say. Mike Riccardi slips back. Johnny Blackford back into 4th. It's the only battle on the racetrack at the moment. Christian Copley holds on to that lead over Trimble. So McKelly in the 96 trying to reel in Ray Trimble in his number 37, Z28. And I'll show you why I mean Z28. Take a look at the front end. All right. Can't really tell here, but how about the T-tops on the roof? You see that? So he's got his number 37 out here representing the Z28 looking vinyl, I guess you'd call it. So he's at, I'll go back to the hood. If I showed you, he's even got it down to the air ducts on the hood. Right here you see right next to the air cleaner. See that? And the T-tops. I love that. Got to get creative, right? So everybody's single file. Here comes Copley into the screen. The number 4. Going to take the checkered flag in the heat race. The only heat race for the limited late models because all the cars that are in this class are on the racetrack. Up next will be the West Coast Late Model Shootout. Three heats for the late models tonight. Late models rolling out onto the racetrack. And funny enough, I think 2 cars from the last heat race are in this heat race number 1.
For 8-lap heat races for the CMD Martin West Coast late model shootout cups. Here's your lineup: 32B, Clay Daly, followed by 21, Devin Crockett. Number 4, Christian Copley. 37X,
I see some more answers on our Race FitX coverage question rolling in, so I'll have to get back to that at the end of this heat race. Loving all the responses here tonight that we're getting. Trying to find out where to go next with Race FitX and Low Budget TV. Love going to new places, seeing some new things. On the pole in this field, the number 32B, Clay Daly to his outside, Devin Crockett in the 21. Inside row number 2, Kristen Copley. You saw that car last time win the heat race. In just this last race 2 minutes ago, he won a heat race. Ray Trimble in the 37, and rounding out the field, tricky Troy Folger in the number 49. We're going to get the 1 to go, possibly. No. We might be missing a car. Could be waiting on it. I see the flagman kind of intently watching that track exit. Or entrance, I should say. And
we're looking for number 74, Dennis Souza.
Yep. Okay, so Dennis Souza is the car that we're waiting on, except for that he's kind of got a bit of a roadblock. The next heat race is staged up and ready. They've created a bit of a gap for him to get by. He might have to off-road a little bit, but here comes the 74 in a grand fashion. Dennis Souza rolling out onto the racetrack.
74, Dennis Souza joining the party. Ladies and gentlemen, remember to check out the Santa Maria Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
All right, here we go. Late model heat race number 1.
To the Raceway tonight for you to check out.
Here in the West Coast Late Model Shootout Division, Santa Maria Raceway, the Nationals, as we go green. Day number 2. And Crockett out to the early lead. Daly in the second spot. Trimble and Copley battling for third. Troy Folger trying to take a view to see how he can get by. Daly with a run on the outside groove. He found the moisture up top, but has to hit the brakes from hitting the wall. Trimble driving a limited late model in the third spot, closing in on Daly. With this track being a dry slick, I think these late models, these limited late models, could have something for these big open motors that they're dealing with. So this is the best battle on track now for third, between Copley down low and Trimble in the red 37 machine. Your top 2 spread out, single file. Crockett, your leader. And I'm starting to see this groove widen up. You might see some racing from the wall down to the berm later on tonight. Troy Folger in the 49 trying to work on Copley to get up to 4th. Five laps down, make it 6 at the stripe, 2 to go. And this battle continues on. Trimble now falling back into the hands of Copley. Battle for third. 3 cars duking it out up front as the white flag is flying. It looks like the 32B of Clay Daly starting to reel in Crockett in the 21. So one more lap to get it done if Daly wants a checkered flag. Down into turn number 3, Crockett and Daly, they're dead even. Through the corners, Crockett takes the checkered flag in heat race number 1 for the late models. And out of turn number 4, Trimble is going to hold off Copley and Folger for that third spot. So, hey, limited late models might have something for a top 5 run tonight here in Santa Maria for the late model class. So I want to get back to our coverage question because I still see some comments rolling in. Peter Coberly says his home track is Merced Speedway, Jimmy Reeves RPM Speedway in Hayes, Kansas. Chris Carnage, Paris Auto Speedway in Paris, California. Amy Tyning, Bakersfield Speedway. Hashtag 6X Racing, the Endure with his brother. Zach says his home track is Ventura Raceway in Ventura, California. I love that track, Zach. And the reason why I love that track so much is because you look behind you and watch the guys surfing on the beach. Look in front of you, and you get to see race cars on the 5th mile banks in Ventura. Heat race number 2 for the late models on the track. Steve Drake brings this one to the green flag, and then number 11X to his outside. The 5L fastest qualifier last night. Your main event winner last night, Cody Laney. And some contact, some stacking up at the start. Definitely some rear tires spinning on that one. Bobby Hogue's going to try to battle for the 2nd spot in the number 2 machine. The 7, that is Brad Pounds in the car tonight. That was Mike Kirby last night, driving the 7. Brian Kronk in the number 29, the 28, Chester Niss, and the 46. Rounding out the field, that is Darren Koffel. 3 cars battling here for 5th place. Single file as they run. Steve Drake, Cody Laney, and Bobby Hogue were all in a big old cluster down the front straightaway at the start of this one. Laney might have got on the gas hard and the rear tire spun. Third and fourth on the screen, Pounds and Hogue. It's been a while since we've seen Brad Pounds behind the wheel of a late model. So he'll be doing double duty tonight in the modifieds and in this number 7 late model tonight, as well as Bobby Hogue running in the modifieds and the late models. Steve Drake, always a fast competitor anywhere he goes in that number 11X late model. Kind of checked out over the 5L of Cody Laney. Trying to back out for this screenshot. There he is. There's Laney. I'd say about 5 car lengths back from the 11X. So the white flag flies. The second of 3 heat races for the late models. Drake drives it into turn number 3, stays down low, and will grab the checkered flag as he crosses the stripe. Heat number 2 winner. Laney 2nd, 3rd, Pounds 4th, Hogue 5th. The number 46, Koffel. 6th place will be Kronk, and 7th will be Nitz. One more late model race to go in the heat races for this weekend. Nicholas Higginson saying that his home track is the Speedway at Willow Springs, the big Willow Springs multiplex of motorsports. Has a little quarter-mile asphalt oval. That's where Nicholas' home track is. Brian Smith says Industry Speedway, Speedway Motorcycles. Hey, there you go. And then Terry says Terry Campion watching live from Santa Cruz near Ocean Speedway. That's his home track. That sounds like a fun place to go too.
17.
Driven by it, but I've never seen a lap of any type of, I've never even seen a race car on the racetrack, so. In person, I should say, in person. Now give me credit, I've Googled it, YouTubed it. But Ocean Speedway definitely seems like a fun place to go over in Watsonville. Heat 3 on the racetrack. Sun's not necessarily setting yet. I mean, it's in process of setting, but the clouds are rolling in. That beach fog starting to go over the top of us. Tony Toast will lead this one to the green. Trenton Elliott in the 4E to his outside. And then a latecomer, who I believe might, funny enough, start next to his teammate again in the heat racing. Mike Johnson in the 7X. And the 37 of Rob Maya. And then the last 3 cars on the field, the number 96, Matt McKelly. The 17 of Lightning Larry Childress. And Bill Eagleston in the 15E. Final heat race for the late models as it round turns 3 and 4. They take the green flag. And that's a fight for the lead early on. Elliott's going to slip up. He's going to cause a bit of a stack up behind him. Driver's having to check up. But Elliott holds on to the second spot. Toast with the lead, lap number 1. Elliott second, Johnson third, Maya trying to hold off McKelly and Eagleston. They might have bounced off each other on the back straightaway. Bouncing there, there's starting to be a couple of bumps forming in turns 1 and 2. You can see when the late models head into turns 1 and 2. Watch it this time by, you're going to see some cars bouncing around right about in the center of the track. You see Eagleston and Kelly bouncing around. Lap 3, making 4 at the line, halfway through this late model heat. And right here is where we're watching, because that's the best and only battle on the racetrack. Eagleston with a big bobble out of the corner, has to chase it up towards the wall. McKelly now battling to the inside of Maya for 4th. Here comes Childress trying to get in on this battle as well. 3 to go. Up front, Tony Toast here at his home track in Santa Maria is in the lead. 2 laps remaining in this heat race. Looking pretty smooth, looking pretty fast in that 91T machine. White flag is out. Tony Toast as a surprise driver this weekend in the modified, and his modified, Matt Crafton, will be piloting here tonight and all weekend long. Checkered flag for Tony Toast. Elliott second, third Johnson. Rounding turns number 3 and 4, it'll be Maya, McKelly, Childress, and Eagleston to finish off the late model heat races tonight. Up next, the final group of heat racing competitors, the IMCA modifieds, will be doing 4 heat races, top 4 transfer from the heats into the A main. All others will have to fight tooth and nail out of the B. Heat race number 1 for the modifieds. It'll be the 174 of Ethan Dotson starting on point to his outside. DJ Shannon, the number 32. 198, the Rebel Rouser, Robbie Sawyer. Then we got the 11 of Cody Laney, the number 83 of Kellen Chadwick, the number 3 F machine that is driven by John Ramiro. To Ramiro's outside will be the number 24 for the West Coast Wildman, Roger Holder. Mike Kirby in the 5K, and the driver rounding out the field is the one that I was just talking about, the 91T. Two-time NASCAR Camping World Truck Series champion Matt Crafton. Here we go. Top 4 transfer. IMCA modified. We're green. Down on the turn number 1. Some contact. Chadwick getting that brand new car dirty over in the corner. Trying to fight his way into the main event without having to work through the B. It'll be Holder holding on to the transfer spot in the number 24. Behind him, Crafton on a run. He's got that 91T wound up on the top, on the high side. Mike Kirby right behind, trying to battle it out. Chadwick having all sorts of problems in this heat race. He's buried in the back, not progressing forward at all. Possibly working out the bugs in an 83 machine. Roger Holder sits in 4th. That's the transfer spot. Crafton needs to close up on that 24 driver of Holder. Battle for the 2nd spot. Blaney on the outside of the 198 of Robbie Sawyer. Battle for the 2nd spot. Sawyer has it. Blaney wants it. Nearly touching down the front straightaway. Good racing action, but the yellow will come out. DJ Shannon parked on the back straightaway. Looks like a left front tie rod is broken in the 32 machine. So he's going to need to hook from toe 1. Here halfway through this heat race, 4 down, 4 more to go.
Halfway through this 8-lap heat race on the restart. Your lineup will be 174 Ethan Dotson in the lead, followed by 198 Robbie Sawyer. Number 11 Cody Lane, number 24 Roger Holder. Dotson, Sawyer, Laney, Holder, Crafton, Kirby, Chadwick, Romero, your lineup on the restart. 4 laps to go in this 8-lap heat race.
All right, so lights are out from the flag stand. We're going to continue on with this first heat race for the IMCA Modifieds. Like I mentioned, Chadwick not going anywhere. Kind of a surprise, maybe, like you said, working out the bugs, putting a setup in it that was an experiment that was a failure. But hey, it is Kellen Chadwick, and the heat's on. He can get it done. He's marked back there in 7th. Here we go. Back to racing. Top 4 transfer. Holder has the transfer spot. Crafton and Kirby want it. But they're going to have to get by Holder to do so. Ethan Dotson out front. Crafton applying some pressure on Holder now. Battle for the 2nd spot right up ahead. I don't know which one I want to watch. Good battle for the 2nd spot. Cody Laney to the inside now. Gets by Sawyer's number 198 machine. Crafton slipping back from Holder. Chadwick now on the charge. So number 83 coming back around. But time is the issue. White flag flying. And I tell you what we can see right now is that Ethan Dotson starting to run away from Laney, number 174. So he's got a fast hot rod here tonight. Ethan Dotson out of turn number 4 takes the 174 to the line and to the checkers. Chadwick's almost going to get by the 91T of Crafton. Got the stripe, but Crafton holds on to 5th. So moving on into the feature, it'll be Dotson, Laney, Then we got the 198 of Sawyer and the 24 of Holder. Chadwick, Ramiro, and others going to have to go through the B main event. Heat race number 2 for the IMCA Modifieds. Remember, top 4 transfer. And lined up in this one, the G5 starts on the pole. Brad Pounds to his outside. Billy Wormsbecker and the number 33A machine. Inside row number 2. Winner last year of this event. The 7 of Chris Cromp, and to his outside, that is Justin Crockett in the 21J. Inside row 3, Ryan Lauer in his number 3, and the 2 of Bobby Hogue. Rounding out the field of the last 3 cars, Aaron Rodarty, Bill Eagleston in the 15E, and Alex Stanford in his number 98. Top 4 transfer, 8 laps. He raced number 2 for the modified. Exciting already. Top 4 under the blanket. Hogue wants in on this A main event. He's got to get by Justin Crockett in the 21 machine. He's got a nose ahead. At the stripe. He's credited with that spot, but Crockett with a run on the outside pushes Hogue back on the outside looking in. Side by side for the transfer spot, a little contact, nothing major. Hogue's going to throw it on the outside now of Justin Crockett. Really trying to work his way into the A main event. Gets the job done. He's clear of Crockett. And now trying to work on third on the outside of the number 7 of Cromp. Back here, Stanford working on Lauer in the number 3. Eagleston and Rodarty making contact. Rodarty having to go way up the track. So Aaron Rodarty off to a bit of a rough start. Third place battle. Hogue and Cromp. Wormsbecker now in the hands of Hogue. To his outside, that 2H machine is rocking and rolling on that high side. So maybe Hogue has found something up top. Meanwhile, it's been the Brad Pounds show from the start. 2 laps to go when the G5 crosses the line. All by himself. Good. Brad Pounds. And the battle for the transfer spot going on now. Crockett and Cromp. White flag flying, 1 lap to go to determine who's going to have to fight their way through the B main event. Cromp slips out of it. Right here, the 2 cars, the 7 and the 21. Crockett trying on the outside of Wormsbecker. Will have to hit the brakes. Cromp to the inside. Pounds is going to come across the line for the checkered flag. At the line for the transfer spot. Crockett hard on the gas and sneaks by Cromp. So it was all out of turn number 4 for Crockett. He stood on that gas pedal as hard as his toes can make it. And just barely by a nose gets by Cromp. As much as having to shove Wormsbecker out of his way to get it going across the line ahead of Cromp. So Cromp, Stanford, Eagleston, and Lauer, Ryan Lauer, all having to go through the B main later on this evening. Heat race number 3, Tim Clark Jr. in the number 54 brings a field to the green. Logan Drake in the 111 machine. The 5 of Clay Daly. The 28P John Piker. 5 of Brett Bennett. The 9 XXX Chet Reeves. Randy Brown in the 16B. As the caution comes out for a false start. The 2 of Danny Lauer and the 20. Winner of last night's main event. Killed it out here. I mean, literally ran away multiple times. Cody Burke in the number 20. So false start. Flagman did not like that one. So we're going to stack him back up and try it again. Tim Clark rolling this corner. Getting ready to go. Green flag. Attempt number 2 will pass. A+ from the flag stand. 3 wide by 3 wide out of turn number 2. Logan Drake holds the lead. Clark is in the second spot. Maybe a bit of a bumper tag due to a stack up out of turn number 2. Clark's going to hold on to second. Brown wants that transfer spot. Clay Daly has it in the number 5, the white car on top of the screen, but Clark bobbles. Now he's on the outside looking in. So Randy Brown out of turn number 4, Holt gets that transfer spot. Clark's all sorts of crossed up, fishtailing down the front straightaway. And take a look here, Clay Daly with a broken left front. He's carrying that left front wheel all around this track while being in the transfer spot. I'm sorry, he's in 3rd, so he's 1 spot ahead of the transfer spot. But this could spell disaster as Brown now making a move to the inside, battle for 3rd. Cody Burke, your main event winner last night, had a horrible pill draw. He started in the back of this heat race. He could potentially start in the B main after winning last night's feature. So the transfer spot is the 16B of Randy Brown. Cody Burke trying to make it work on the inside. It's a battle for 4th, and that's a spot that you got to be in to move on. Yellow, though. 54 of Tim Clark Jr. spun around over in turns 3 and 4. 1 and done rule in effect. You thought the official point to the infield. So Tim Clark Jr. in the 54 getting summoned into the infield. So he's going to have to go through the B main event tonight. Clark did not race with us last night. So top 4, Logan Drake in the 111 machine, Brett Bennett in the 5B, 3rd spot, and a broken left front, Clay Daly in the 5, and Randy Brown in the 16B holds on to your transfer spot. Cody Burke in the 20 machine. He's on the outside looking in, as well as the 28P of Piker, 9 XXX, Cheddar Cheese, Chet Reeves, Danny Lauer, and Clark. He tried. He's trying to continue on in the heat races, but I think he forgot the fact that it's a 1 and done rule in effect here tonight. So top 4 transfer, 4 laps down, 4 more to go. And we're green. All right. Let's see how this one's going to shape up. Cody Burke running to the outside. He needs to get by Brown to get into the A feature without having to deal with the B main. Bennett trying to work on Logan Drake up front for the lead. Clay Daly, if he can hold on to 3rd, that'd be a miracle. Luckily for him, he's picking up that left front wheel through the corners, keeping that 5 machine rolling up high. Cody Burke's going to lose a spot to the 28P John Piker. So now the 28P Piker trying to work his way up to Brown to potentially make it into the feature. Brown needs to get by Daly. He's to the inside. White flag flying. Last lap to settle it. Heat race number 3 for the modifieds. Logan Drake leading this one from start to finish. Checkered flag for the 111. Bennett 2nd. 3rd will be Daly, and 4th. And the top 4 going to the A main event. Randy Brown rounds out that group. now Daly coming to a stop. Potentially got some of the wall at the turn 1. So the drama continues on.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I think actually Daly knew that he was going to have to make a right turn on exit of this track. So he's going to use the tow trucks to assist him. I don't believe he made any contact with the wall.
Here at the Raceway. So if you're a contractor in need of any type of bonding or surety, contact C&D Bonding. You can find them online at C.
Fourth and final heat race for the modifieds coming up next. Heat race number 4, top 4 transfer, 8 laps. The 1P of Scott Pound starts on the pole to his outside the 16. The Outlaw Ricky Childress. Inside row number 2, the 72 of Kevin Irwin. 25 of Austin Burke, and we go green. Dalen Coffey, Troy Morris Jr., and Carla Laney, Josh Vogt, and Aaron Rodarty. Sorry, Austin Rodarty in this field. Scott Pounds in the 1P leads lap number 1 over the 16 of Childress. Side by side for the lead, top 4 on the screen. Coffee in the 55 and 5th on the outside looking in. Irwin makes a bobble. That will help Coffee get closed into the 72. So Irwin, the little shoe, holds on to the transfer spot. He's got a lot of pressure behind him. Hard charging 25 feet Josh Vogt trying to get around Coffee for 5th. Some contact, a little rubbing. Bumping and banging going on. Ricky Childress extending his lead over Pounds. Pounds in the 25 of Burke making some contact down the back straight. I think Burke might have even gotten the wall. But this right here is a battle to watch. The 72 trying to hold off Vogt. Vogt with the outside run. He's got a nose into the show. Meanwhile, ahead of him, a battle for the second spot. Burke gets by Pounds possibly on exit to turn 4. He does. So now Vogt holds on to that transfer spot. On the 25 feet, he's actually trying to extend his run up to the 3rd spot. Gets by the 1P. So now Scott Pounds is in 4th. He's on the bubble. Irwin flips out of the A main event. Irwin's got to get by the 1P, which he's on a mission to do so right now. If he can get by Scott Pounds in the 1P machine, he will make his way back into the A main event. Scott Pounds coming back from retirement, I believe 12 years of being retired. Through turns number 3 and 4, Ricky Childress, checkered flag in the 4th heat race for the modifieds. Vogt will get by a nose. Burke in the 25. For the second spot, 4th place will be Pounds in the 1P machine. So coming through the B main will be Coffee, Irwin, Rodarty, Morris, and Laney in this one. So coming up next will be the Sport Mod B main event.